Hello students, you're welcome to our virtual learning platform. In our previous lesson, I introduced spreadsheet packages where we discussed the meaning of spreadsheets, some examples of spreadsheet packages, and features of spreadsheet application packages. Today, we'll take a quick look on how you can load or open the Microsoft Excel application on your computer. You will need your learning or resource materials, that is your computer with Microsoft Excel installed, and a sample document to help you with your hands-on practice. First, you power or boot your computer. When this is done, the computer will bring you to the desktop, which is the first screen displayed after booting process is successfully completed. At this point, we can begin the steps to open the Microsoft Excel application before we proceed to the spreadsheet operations. In this section, we will load the Microsoft Excel application as well as demonstrate spreadsheet features and how they function. Here we are on our desktop. I will be using Microsoft Excel 2016 for this class. Never mind if your version is not same as mine. You only need to know the basics that will help you perform your spreadsheet operations. The basics are same for all spreadsheets versions. It's just a slight difference when you have a higher version from the one you are using at the moment. To load or open the Microsoft Excel application, you can choose any of these three ways. One, if the application icon is pinned to your desktop, like I have it here, you can simply double click on it. This is done by clicking on the left button of the mouse 2 times consecutively, that's double click. Then the computer will bring you to the first window of the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, where you will have an option of blank workbook to select if you need to customize your document, or templates to choose if you want to work with existing designs in the application. For the purpose of this lesson, we'll be using blank workbook because we want to customize our documents to suit our need. So to continue to the spreadsheet environment, we'll click on blank workbook. This will bring us to the first page of our workbook. The second way to do this is to search for the application by typing Microsoft Excel in the search box on your desktop taskbar. I type Microsoft Excel. The computer will search through, filter the options, and if the application is found, it displays it, and then you click. This will take us to the first window where we have also a blank workbook to choose from if we need to customize our documents, or templates to choose existing designs in the application. Remember, we are still working with blank workbook. This will now take us to the first page of our spreadsheet. The third option is to click on your Start button or the Windows button. Once you click, it will display a pull-up menu of all the programs installed in your computer. This may differ from computer to computer depending on the programs you have available on your computer. Now, when the pull-up menu or the list of the available programs is displayed, you will check through. If Microsoft Excel is not visible, then you will use the scroll bar to check through, and then if the application is found, you will click on it. Some systems may have Microsoft Office before you can find Excel on your pull-up menu. So I scrolled down and to display my Excel 2016, then I click. This will take me to the first window where I have the blank workbook and also templates to choose from. Then I'll choose blank workbook, which will bring me to my first page of the spreadsheet. Wow, here we are on our Microsoft Excel application or environment. Now we'll talk about the spreadsheet features. From the ones we listed earlier, we have seen the workbook while we were opening the application. The workbook is represented in the spreadsheet environment as book 1. By default, a workbook contains 255 worksheets. This simply means if I need more worksheets for my file, I will use the New Sheets button to add more. And this can give me up to 255. Most times, you don't exhaust the 255 worksheets unless you have very large amounts of documents to work on. We have another feature, the worksheet. The worksheet, a page of the workbook where spreadsheet operations take place. These are the worksheets. Each of these makes up a page of the workbook. The worksheet consists of cells that are organized into columns and into rows. The next one is the row. The row is the horizontal line of the worksheet. Every horizontal line of the worksheet we refer to as a row. Rows are usually represented by numbers. As we can see here, you have number 1, 2, 3, 4, down to the last row that has the number 1,048,576. To view the last row in your worksheet, hold down the Control key on your keyboard and then press the down arrow key. That takes us to the last row, 1,048,576. To go back to the first row, we also go back to our Control key on our keyboard, hold down the Control key and press the up arrow key. It will bring us to row 1. So for everything we do on the horizontal line, we do it on a row. We'll talk about our column. The column is the vertical line of the worksheet. Where I have clicked now is column G. Columns are usually represented by alphabets A and runs up to a combination of alphabets X, F, D. That is the last column on each worksheet. To view the last column, we'll hold down the Control key and we'll press our right arrow key. That takes us to the last column, XFG. And to go back to the first column, we'll also hold down the Control key and press our left arrow key, and it takes us back to the first column, which is column A. So for every worksheet, we have a row, we have a column that are named according to the English alphabet, and the rows using numeric values. Then we have a cell. A cell is the meeting area or intersection of the column or row. Anywhere that you have a bold border around those lines is referred to as a cell. What we have here shows that this is a cell and is the point where column K meets row 5. Column K meets row 5 will give us cell K5. So for each of these, wherever you see the highlighted border lines, we refer to it as a cell. We have the cell address. The cell address is the name given to a cell according to its column letter and row number. For instance, what we have here is cell L12. That is the cell address, cell L12. So whenever we want to form the cell address, it must be at that point of intersection of the cell, whatever column letter and the row number that you have there forms that cell address. What we have at this current or active cell is cell H13. So any cell that has these thick borders to differentiate it from others is referred to as the active or current cell. Then we have our range. A range is referred to as a group of cells when you have more than one cell put together that will form a range. An example, if I have cell B3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 highlighted, this is referred to as a vertical range. If I have cell D, E, F, G, H, I, this is referred to as a horizontal range of cells. If I add range of cells at different points, it becomes multiple range of cells. This can be done if I want to pick different items from different areas of the spreadsheet. So I will have multiple selection range of cells. Then we'll talk about our toolbar. Our toolbar are the options or the commands that are organized and used as shortcuts to help us perform our spreadsheet operations fast and easier. They are always located at the quick access toolbar. You see the quick access toolbar at the top of our screen. You have this icon, can help you to save your worksheet operations rather than mastering the keyboard command Ctrl+S or going through menu options to pull down a menu and then pick the option of your choice. Now we'll talk about our menu bar. The menu bar is a special bar here at the top of the screen that contains menu items. They give you options to choose from while you work on your spreadsheets packages. You have your file menu, the home, the insert, the page layout. When you click on any of these menus, you get other options displayed on the ribbon where you can select the one that suits your desired operations. If I click on page layout, I see options that can help me to arrange my document margins to ensure that I have a better orientation, whether it is portrait or landscape. It can help me to choose the size of paper that I need for my worksheet. Now we have another feature, the title bar at the top of the screen. By default, the title bar is referred to as Book 1, which is the workbook 1. So when you have a document, you can change the name if you have saved your document to the name of your choice. That can easily help you to identify your document in future. Then we talk about the status bar. The status bar is the special bar at the bottom of the document window. This status bar that stores information about the current or the active worksheet. Right now, the active worksheet is highlighted, which is sheet 4. If I want sheet 1 to become my active worksheet, I simply click on sheet 1 and sheet 1 becomes my active worksheet. So any sheet that is highlighted is the active worksheet. This is displayed on my status bar. The status bar also tells me the current status of the document. At this point, you can see it is ready for me to begin my operations. Once I start typing federal government, the status bar here displays enter to tell me that I need to give the computer this instruction to execute. So at that point, I will press enter. When I press enter and the computer takes that instruction, it goes back to display ready, which tells me that at this time, I can continue with my spreadsheet operations. So if I'm doing any operations on this spreadsheet window, I cannot continue. I need to find out if my spreadsheet window is ready to accept my operations or there is any other pending issue. Then we'll talk about the scroll bars. The scroll bars could be seen at the vertical and at the horizontal. These scroll bars enable us to see the hidden parts of our worksheets. For instance, I have this is a good day for everyone, and I continue. Now you can see that I have displayed everything on my page. Column A is hidden, column V is hidden. So if I want to see the items or part of my document on column V, I simply need to check my horizontal bar. So when I scroll on this bar, V is now displayed. If I move in this way, A is displayed. I go back, V is displayed and A is hidden. But when it is from vertical, it means that whatever I cannot view beyond this edge of my spreadsheet window, I need to scroll down. I have 56, 75, 202, 59. Now, you can see that my row 1 to 5 is hidden, but I can view up to 27. So if I want to see my row 1 to 5, I have to move vertically. If I want to view the data I have under row 24 down, then I have to scroll down to the vertical bar. And then to view the ones on my columns, I use my horizontal bar. Then we'll talk about our formula bar. What does the formula bar do for us? The formula bar displays the content, the value, or the formula used in the active cell. Remember that any cell that is highlighted with the bold border around it is the active cell. Now this is my formula bar. Once you get close to there, the flyer displays the name. The formula bar holds our content, it holds our values, it holds our formula. If it's holding a content, it means it's holding alphabetical data. Like I am a Nigerian. I am typing from the formula bar. When I press enter, it displays on my spreadsheet. I go back, I make H15 my active cell, and I type 43. I go to H16, 89. These two are referred to as values, numerical values. So the formula bar will hold also those numerical values to tell us the content of the active cell. I can also put a formula like I need to add these two numbers to get a result. I can put a formula there. "43 equal to," and then I have a formula equal to H15 plus H16, and then I have a result of 132. So the formula bar in this situation is holding a formula that calculates the total of 43 and 18 or 89. Then we have the name box. The name box displays the cell address of the current or active cell. This is our name box displayed here. Whatever you have as your active cell address is displayed at the name box. So you don't need to strain through the bars to know the active cell. Peradventure, it is hidden from the visible screen. So once I get in to this point and I can no longer view that part, my active cell is hidden, but my name box tells me that I am on cell AB19. So the name box helps us to display the cell address of the current or active cell. A good understanding of these features will help your perfect use of the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Further, in this practical experience, I will demonstrate data entry, edit cell entries, and then we'll try to save data in our worksheets, and we'll perform some format operations. Our practice document is still our school results sheet. What is data entry? Data entry in spreadsheet operations means to type or input data. So to enter data in a worksheet, all we need to do is to place our cursor where we want to begin to type. We want to start from cell A2, so place our cursor there and click. Remember that our active cell is indicated by the thick borderline on that particular grid. Let's try to type some data on our school results. So we start with Federal Government College. You have second term results 2019/2020. Then we have students results. We're going to input data for 3 subjects. So we have a serial number, we have the student name, we have the subject, we have first CA 20%, we have our second CA 20%, and we will add exam score. Then we have for 3 subjects, all we are doing is just data entry. So we have English language or studies, we have mathematics, we have basic science and technology. What we have done now is what we call data entry. Now we'll look at editing cell entries. How do we edit cell entries? To edit, it's to change or alter data that appears in the worksheet. All these are data on our worksheet. So peradventure we need to change any of them. We can do it in different ways. First, we'll move our cursor to the required cell and press the space bar key on the keyboard. Let's assume we want to change this basic science to become business studies. So we'll move our cursor, click on that particular cell, and then we'll press the space bar on the keyboard to delete that data. Then we'll replace it with business studies and press enter. So automatically the content of that cell has been changed. That is editing. We can do it in another form. We select the cell we want to change its data. Let's take mathematics and change it to general mathematics. At that point where our cell is, our cursor is, we type general mathematics. It will replace the content of that cell. Press enter key. We may also do it in another form. We want to change English studies to English language. We'll go to our formula bar. Our formula bar, earlier we have seen holds content, values, and formula. So what is here now is content. So we'll get to the formula bar and we click. Then we either highlight or we just do it for individual characters. We'll delete or erase the data on that cell, and then we now type English language. English language, and press enter. This is simply how we can edit our cell entries. Now, before we continue with other operations, we will save the data in our worksheet so we do not lose our data in the case of power failure or any other system issues. So how do we save our data? First, go to our either the file menu, or we do it using the shortcut tool, the disk symbol that shows save. Now, before we can save our file, we will choose a name that will suit our document in such a way that when we come back to look for the file as a future reference, we will not need to memorize the file, but the name will be related to the document. So since it is a practice document, we'll go, either we use this or we'll go to our file menu and choose file. Then we will select save as. Each time you want to save your file for the first time, you use the file option, save as. Even when you use save, the computer will take you to the save as dialog box because it is the first time we are initializing a save operation. So we'll click on save as. Then we will have a save as window where the system will present us with different folders to choose where we want to save our file or store our file. So we would like to store this file on our desktop. So we click and it will bring us to the Save As dialog box where you have the file name box, you have the file type. The file type is the Excel workbook represented with the extension name XLSX. So we change our file name Recall that when we were talking about the features, we said that default gives the Excel worksheet book 1 as a file name. So now we'll change the file name and we'll erase the book 1 and call it practice results. Then we'll say save. That is to tell the computer to take or perform the operation. So click. Our file name has changed from book 1 to practice results. Now we can confidently continue with our other format operations so we won't lose our data. Looking at format operations, what is formatting in Excel spreadsheet application? Formatting is simply the overall arrangement of the entries in the cells of a spreadsheet. The overall arrangement of the entries in the cells of the spreadsheet. That's the much we can take today. In our next class, I will demonstrate format operations and simple calculations on a spreadsheet. For your assignment, design a student's result with 10 subjects showing the student's scores and personal details. I do hope we had an interesting experience in this session. Stay safe and live fearless.